The video kept replaying. Her laughter. That hotel room. His hands on her waist. My chest felt tight, my throat dry. The sound of the rain outside mixed with the shaky audio of her whispering, "Don't tell anyone." I paused the video. The frame froze on her smile. That same smile I used to believe in. My hand trembled around the phone. 3 days before our wedding, I whispered. 3 days. The clock on the wall ticked louder than usual. I could still hear her voice in my head from earlier that day. "I'll miss you this weekend. Promise me you'll eat something. While she was in that hotel room, I pressed play again. Watched her lean in, eyes half closed. The man's face stayed out of frame, but his voice was clear, confident, familiar. Something inside me snapped, but I stayed still. My anger didn't roar. It sank, deep, cold. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "You deserve to know the truth, no name." Just the video attached, no context, no mercy. I sat there for a long time, watching, listening, until my stomach turned. Finally, I stood up and walked to the mirror. My reflection looked like a stranger. I used to be the man who believed in forever. Now I was someone waiting for a reason not to burn it all down. The ring on my finger caught the desk light. I remembered how she cried when I gave it to her. I used to think those tears were love.
Maybe they were guilt. I sank back into my chair.
The room felt smaller, colder. I whispered, "You think I won't find out?" Then I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it finally made sense. The late replies, the sudden business calls, the fake sleepovers with her friends. My phone buzzed again. Her name this time. "Landed safe. Miss you already? Miss me?" I stared at the screen until her message blurred. My hand moved on its own. I opened my gallery, pressed play one last time. Her laughter filled the silence again. This time I didn't pause it. I let it finish. When the screen went black, I opened my messages, typed a number I had never dared to before. Her father's. My thumb hovered over the video file. My pulse slowed. Every second stretched like a lifetime. I whispered, "You raised an angel. Let's see if you still think so after this." Then I hit send. The whoosh of the message leaving my phone echoed louder than the rain. I stared at the screen. It was done. For a moment, the world was quiet again. Then I looked down at my phone, heart pounding. The message read, "Delivered." My lips parted, barely a breath escaping as I said, "Now let's see who you really are." The rain kept falling. The video stayed open in my mind, and I knew this was only the beginning. The sound of the front door unlocking cut through the silence. I was still at the kitchen counter, hands wrapped around a cold cup of coffee. Her voice echoed down the hallway. "I'm home!" The smell of her perfume filled the house before she even stepped in. Sweet, familiar, poisonous. She walked in smiling, suitcase dragging behind her. "You didn't even text me last night." "Miss me?" I forced a smile. "You could say that," she laughed softly. "You sound tired," I nodded. "Didn't sleep much." She leaned over to kiss me. I turned slightly, letting her lips graze my cheek instead. She hesitated but brushed it off. "So, how was the trip?" I asked. "It was fun." "The girls went crazy," she set her bag down. "We took so many pictures." She opened her phone, scrolling through perfectly curated moments, drinks by the pool, matching robes, sunsets. Every photo cut off right before the truth. "Looks like a good time," I said. She smiled wider. "It was. You trust me too much, you know that?" My jaw tightened. "Yeah, I do." Her laughter faltered for half a second before she looked away. The silence stretched. The only sound was the spoon hitting the side of her cup. "You're quiet today," she said softly. "Something wrong?" I looked at her phone still glowing on the table. "Nothing wrong. Just thinking." Her eyes searched mine. "About what?" I took a slow sip of coffee. "About how easy it is to hide something when you crop it right." Her hand froze midair. "What's that supposed to mean?" Before I could answer, my phone buzzed on the counter. Her gaze flicked to it. "Who's that?" I glanced down. A message preview glared up at me. "Is this real?" My heart skipped. Maya's father. She reached for the phone, but I slid it into my pocket. "Work," I said quietly. Work at this hour? I shrugged. Someone's always calling. She smiled, but the corner of her lip twitched. You've been acting weird. Maybe I just missed you too much. Then prove it. She stepped closer, fingertips tracing my arm. Her touch burned. I looked down at her, meeting her eyes. You'll get proof soon enough, her brow furrowed. What does that mean? Before she could push further, another buzz rattled the counter. A second message, I picked up the phone under her watchful eyes. My pulse raced as I read the words. If you think that's all she did, you should see what happened next. The room suddenly felt smaller. She smiled again, pretending not to notice my expression. So what are you hiding? I swallowed hard. You'll find out when I do. Her smile faded completely now. The tension hung heavy, sharp enough to cut through the air. She turned away, muttering, You're acting strange. I forced a breath, my hand gripping the phone in my pocket like a secret weapon. In that moment, I realized something. This wasn't over, not even close, and someone out there wanted me to keep digging. I was sitting in the corner of a quiet cafe, rain tapping against the glass. The same number that had sent me the video texted again. Meet me, 5 p.m., come alone, so I did. She arrived late. Hoodie up, sunglasses on, shoulders tense. She sat across from me without a word. I could smell faint perfume under the scent of rain and coffee. You're the one who sent the video, I said. She nodded slowly. You needed to see it. My jaw tightened. Who are you? I was at the resort. The night she cheated, her voice was calm, almost rehearsed. She slid a small flash drive across the table. What's on it? Proof 2 nights worth. I didn't touch it. Why help me? She leaned closer. Because she isn't who you think she is. I felt my stomach twist. You sound like you know her. I do, she said quietly. I was supposed to be there too, I frowned. What does that mean? She looked away, watching the rain instead of me. Let's just say plans changed. My pulse quickened. So you followed her? Filmed her? Her eyes flicked back to mine. You think I enjoyed it? Watching her with him? Her words hit like a slap. Then why not go to her? Why come to me? Because you're the one who deserves to know, she said. I studied her face. There was something fragile behind her calm, like she'd been through her own version of betrayal. What's your name? I asked. She hesitated, then said, Iris. Iris. I repeated it slowly. You were friends? She smiled faintly. Something like that. I finally picked up the flash drive. It felt heavier than it should. If this is fake, I'll find you. She met my gaze. It's not fake. You'll wish it was. The air between us shifted. She stood, pulling her hood back. For a second, her wrist showed, a small tattoo of a crescent and star. My breath caught. I had seen that tattoo before, at the engagement party, on one of Maya's bridesmaids. Before I could ask, she grabbed her coffee, whispering, Be careful who you protect. Then she left. I sat there, staring at the rain running down the glass, her last words echoing in my head. Be careful who you protect. When I finally got home, I shut every curtain, turned off every light, and plugged in the flash drive. My laptop whirred to life. Folders appeared labeled with dates. My finger hovered over one marked Night 2. I clicked. The video opened. The camera was shaky, but I could see her. The woman I loved. Her voice soft, whispering, my name. My heart stopped, but she wasn't talking to me. She was whispering it to another man. The screen froze. My reflection stared back at me through the darkened monitor, and for the first time, I couldn't tell if the shaking I felt was rage or heartbreak. The music was too cheerful for a night like this. Glasses clinked, people laughed, and I sat at the center of it all, smiling like a man who hadn't already seen the truth. She stood beside me, radiant, pretending. Her hand brushed mine under the table. You're quiet tonight, she whispered. Just tired, I said. From what? She teased. You didn't have to plan anything. My bridesmaids did all the work, I forced a smile. I noticed. Across the table, her father lifted his glass. To the happy couple, he said, his eyes landing on me with something sharper than warmth. I raised my glass too, pretending not to see the silent question behind his stare. Did you send that video? When the toast ended, my best man leaned in. You good? I'm fine, I said. You look like you're about to confess to murder. Not murder. Something worse, he frowned. What's worse than that? Marriage, I muttered. Before he could reply, she grabbed my arm. Dance with me. The music changed. I stood, placing my hand on her waist. Everyone watched, thinking this was love. She looked up at me, eyes bright. You're shaking. Just nerves. She laughed softly. You don't get nervous. Maybe I do now. Her perfume hit me, the same scent I smelled that night while watching the video. My chest tightened, then the doors opened. A voice said, Sorry I'm late. The room turned. It was her, the stranger from the cafe, dressed in a pale dress, hair down, eyes locked on us. Iris. Maya's smile froze. Who invited you? I was nearby, Iris said calmly. I heard you were celebrating. Maya stepped forward, her voice sweet but tense. You must be mistaken. This is a private event, Iris tilted her head. Private? That's funny. Didn't seem that private at the resort. The air went cold. Guests looked around, confused. I stepped in quickly. She's an old college friend. It's fine, Iris smiled faintly at me. Yes, we go way back. Maya's hand found mine again, gripping tighter than before. You didn't tell me she was coming. I didn't know, I said quietly. She leaned closer, whispering, Why is she looking at me like that? Maybe she knows something you don't want her to. Her eyes narrowed. Stop being cryptic, I smiled thinly. Stop pretending! The band played louder, trying to drown the tension, but everyone could feel it. Later, while the photographer gathered us for a group shot, Maya's phone buzzed on the table. I didn't touch it. I didn't need to. The screen lit up. Can't believe you're marrying him tomorrow. Her hand darted to grab it, but I saw the panic in her face. I leaned close, my voice barely a whisper. You should really silence your phone. She froze. You saw it. I saw everything, I said. The photographer called our names, smiling. Closer, please. We turned toward the camera, faces painted with the perfect lie. Her father clapped me on the shoulder. We'll talk after dinner, he murmured. I nodded, my stomach heavy. As the flash went off, I looked at her one last time. Her lips were smiling, but her eyes were pleading, and I realized something. The real show was just beginning. The rain started after midnight, soft at first, then louder, like it was warning me. I sat on the edge of my bed, watching lightning flash across the window. The rehearsal dinner still played in my head. Maya's smile, Iris's eyes, her father's whisper. We'll talk after dinner. I couldn't breathe, so I opened my laptop again. The folder was still there. The video I hit play, same room, same music. But something caught my eye this time. A necklace. The one I gave her last winter. Only it wasn't around her neck. It hung from his, my chest tightened. I paused the frame, zoomed in. The man's hand brushed it. I saw the tattoo, small, faint, a compass. I'd seen it before. My hand shook as I grabbed my phone and scrolled through contacts. Then I saw it, Noah, my coworker. My so-called friend, I opened my call log. Her number. His number, alternating, same nights, same times. The room spun, Ryan's name flashed on my screen. I picked up. What? Please tell me you're not watching that again, he said. I missed something. You're spiraling, man. I need to know who he is. Ryan exhaled. Aaron, you already do. I didn't answer. He hesitated. You think it's Noah? I stared at the paused frame again. His arm, his tattoo, his watch. My stomach dropped. It's him, I said. Ryan swore under his breath. Listen to me. Don't do anything tonight. You have a wedding in the morning. You need a clear head, I laughed quietly. There's not going to be a wedding. Aaron. She lied to me. In front of everyone. And he smiled at me every day in the office like nothing happened. I stood up, pacing. The rain hit harder against the window. What are you planning? Ryan asked. I'm just going to tell the truth. That's not what it sounds like. I'm done hiding. He went silent for a moment. If you burn it all tomorrow, there's no coming back. I looked at my reflection in the dark glass. My eyes didn't look like mine anymore. Good, the call ended. I opened my laptop again and started typing. My fingers moved faster than my thoughts. Subject, to Mr. and Mrs. Vance, before you attend the wedding tomorrow. I stared at the blinking cursor. Part of me wanted to stop. Another part wanted to hit send. Thunder cracked outside, shaking the windows. I didn't move. Her words from the dance echoed in my head. Why are you shaking? Because I knew, because I saw everything. Because tomorrow she would too. The clock read 3:17 a.m. The rain poured harder, drowning out the sound of my breathing. I hit save. Not send, not yet. I closed the laptop and sat back, staring into the dark. Tomorrow wasn't a wedding anymore. It was the ending. The church smelled like roses and candle wax. The air was too still. I stood at the altar, my hands cold, my tie choking me. Guests whispered softly behind me. Ryan stood to my right, his eyes darting to mine like he already knew this wasn't going to end the way anyone thought. The music began. Everyone rose. Maya appeared at the doors in a white dress that shimmered under the light. She smiled like nothing had ever gone wrong, like every lie she told was buried beneath that veil. My stomach turned, but I smiled back. She reached me, her fingers trembling as they met mine. You look nervous, she whispered. I am, I said quietly. You should be too. Her brow twitched, but the priest began before she could answer. His voice was calm, steady, the kind that makes you forget the storm outside. I didn't forget. My phone buzzed inside my pocket. Once. Delivered. I exhaled. Maya's father looked up from the front row. Our eyes met. His expression shifted. Confusion, then disbelief. Maya squeezed my hand. What is it? Nothing, I said. Just the truth catching up, her mother gasped. Heads turned. Murmurs rose like waves. What's happening? Maya asked, her voice cracking. The projector behind us flickered on. The slideshow that was supposed to show our childhood photos glitched. Then a video began to play. It was her, laughing, in a hotel room I didn't recognize. A man's arm around her neck, no music, just the sound of her voice saying my name. To him, Maya froze. Turn it off. Aaron, stop this! The priest stepped back, speechless. Guests covered their mouths. Phones came out, I didn't move. She turned to me, tears welling up. Why would you do this to me? Because you did it first, I said softly. Her knees buckled. Ryan caught her mother before she fainted. Maya's father stood, his face red with shame and rage. Is this true? He shouted. She shook her head. No, I can explain. It's not what it looks like, but her voice broke halfway through. I looked around the hall. Every eye was on us. Every whisper burned like fire. I should have felt satisfaction, relief, justice. Instead, I felt empty. Maya crawled toward me, grabbing my wrist. Please, Aaron, don't walk away. I made a mistake. You made a choice, I said. I stepped back. Her hand slipped off my sleeve. Someone killed the projector, but it was too late. The silence was heavier than the storm outside. Her father turned to me. You sent that email? Yes. He nodded once, then looked away. You did what I should have done long ago. Maya collapsed against the floor, crying. I took one last look at her, the woman I once thought I'd spend forever with. As I turned to leave, my eyes caught a figure at the back of the hall, Iris. Standing still, her lips curved into a faint smile. The candles flickered as I walked out of the church, the sound of rain swallowing the chaos behind me. The cafe was quiet except for the soft hum of rain outside. I sat by the window, watching strangers walk by, pretending not to notice the stares. Everyone in town knew, the man who got left at the altar, the fool. My coffee had gone cold when she sat down across from me. No greeting, just calm eyes and the faint scent of jasmine. I knew I'd find you here, she said. I didn't look up. You seem to know a lot about me. I had to, she said. You were part of it. Her tone was steady, but her fingers fidgeted with her cup. I finally met her gaze. Part of what? The plan, she said. The exposure. The timing. Everything that happened at your wedding. The words hit me harder than I expected. You set that up? She nodded once. Not the wedding. The truth, I laughed quietly. You sent me that video. You wanted to ruin her. I wanted to ruin him, she said. Noah, he was mine once. Until she came along. My chest tightened. The rain outside grew heavier. So I was just your weapon. Her eyes softened. You were the truth. I just handed it to you. I leaned back, unsure whether to thank her or walk out. You could have told me. Would you have listened? She was right. Back then, I wouldn't have believed a stranger over the woman I loved. I stared at her. You were there, at the resort. Yes, she said quietly. I was supposed to meet Noah that weekend. Instead, I found them together. That's when I took the first video. Her hands trembled as she spoke, but her voice stayed cold. It wasn't just about revenge. It was about ending a cycle. I watched her closely. There was something raw beneath her calm. You look like someone who hasn't slept in weeks, she smiled faintly. And you look like someone who forgot how to breathe. For the first time in days, I smiled back. Silence settled between us, soft but charged. I could hear her heartbeat in the stillness. I didn't want to hurt you, she said, but I had to show you who she really was. I'm not angry, I said. Just tired. I thought I knew pain until I realized I was just a part of someone else's story. Her eyes met mine. Then maybe it's time to write your own. Something in her voice made me forget the noise outside. I reached for my cup, but she caught my hand instead. Her skin was warm, trembling slightly. She leaned closer. But the story's not over, I frowned. What do you mean? She's coming back. I froze. Her grip tightened just enough for me to feel her pulse. Maya isn't done, and this time she's not coming for an apology. She's coming for you. The cafe lights flickered. The rain fell harder. I didn't know whether to feel fear or curiosity. But as Iris held my gaze, I knew one thing for certain. This wasn't the end. It was the start of something darker. The doorbell rang just after midnight. Rain hit the windows hard, and the house felt colder than usual. I opened the door and there she was. Her hair was wet, eyes red. The same perfume, now mixed with the smell of rain and regret. I had nowhere else to go, she said. I didn't move. You shouldn't have come. Please. Just let me talk, I stepped aside. She walked in like a ghost. Every corner of the room held memories I tried to erase. The photo frames were gone, but the shadows remained. She turned to me, voice trembling. The video wasn't what you think. It was staged, I folded my arms. You're saying you didn't cheat? Tears filled her eyes. I'm saying I was trapped. Iris planned everything. Her voice cracked. She hated Noah. She wanted him to suffer. I was just convenient, I watched her. The words felt rehearsed. You're blaming her now? She blackmailed me, she whispered. She said if I didn't play along, she'd destroy my reputation. You have to believe me. The sound of thunder rolled outside. My hands shook, not from anger, but confusion. I picked up my phone. Then you won't mind if I ask her. Before she could stop me, I called Iris. She answered on the second ring. I knew this day would come. She's here, I said. She says you set her up. There was a long pause. Then Iris said softly, she would have done it first. My throat tightened. What are you talking about? She planned to cheat on you before she even left for that trip, Iris said. I just gave her a mirror to show what she was. I could hear Maya breathing behind me, shaking her head. She's lying, I ended the call. The silence between us felt like broken glass. Maya, I said quietly, tell me the truth. Her lips trembled. I did cheat. The words hung in the air, heavy and final, but only once, she said. It was a mistake. I hated myself every day after. I thought if I could just marry you, start fresh, it would go away. I stared at her, unable to feel anger anymore, only exhaustion. She stepped closer, reaching for my hand. Please, I've lost everything. Don't walk away. I pulled my hand back. You already did. Her knees gave out. She fell to the floor, sobbing. The sound used to break me. Now it just echoed. I walked to the door, opened it, and let the rain pour in. She looked up at me. Where will you go? Forward, I said. Outside, the storm had softened. I drove to the coast, the same place I once planned to propose. The sea roared beneath the dark sky. I took out my phone. The videos. The messages. Every piece of proof that once defined my pain. One by one, I deleted them. The screen went black. My reflection stared back, tired but free. Some endings don't need revenge, I whispered. Just closure. The tide rose, cold against my feet, as the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, and for the first time in months, I let myself breathe.